Welcome to your Shadow channel. Now we will tell another chilling horror story. Tonight, we delve into the 3 horror stories about walking alone at night. Are you ready to get scared? Let's begin. The first story is about the Whispering Woods. In the heart of the dense and ancient forest, where the trees stood like sentinels guarding secrets buried deep within, there was a path seldom traversed. This was no ordinary path, but one that beckoned the brave and the curious, whispering tales of the unknown to those who dared to step into its shadowy embrace. On a moonlit night, when the world seemed to hold its breath, a young girl named Lily found herself standing at the entrance of that ominous path. The moon cast eerie shadows, painting the forest floor with silvery luminescence. The trees seemed to lean in conspiratorially, their branches entwined like skeletal fingers, creating a canopy that swallowed the moon's glow. Lily, drawn by a mysterious force that she couldn't comprehend, hesitated for a moment before taking her first step onto the narrow trail. The leaves underfoot crunched softly, as if the forest floor itself were alive and whispering secrets to those who would listen. As Lily walked deeper into the woods, the air grew colder, and an unsettling silence enveloped her. The usual sounds of nocturnal creatures were conspicuously absent, leaving only the rhythmic tap of her own footsteps echoing through the eerie stillness. Unseen eyes seemed to follow her every move, and a shiver ran down her spine. She soon realized that the path stretched far beyond what she could see. The trees, with their twisted branches, reached towards her as if trying to grasp her very soul. The soft whispers of the wind among the leaves began to take shape, forming words that echoed in the empty spaces of the forest. Lily, the wind seemed to murmur, carrying her name in haunting cadence. Lily, why have you entered the Whispering Woods? Startled, Lily halted, her breath catching in her throat. She glanced around, trying to discern the source of the voice, but the forest held its secrets tightly. Gathering her courage, she continued her journey, telling herself it was just her imagination playing tricks on her. Deeper into the woods, the shadows danced with an otherworldly grace, and the moon's feeble light struggled to pierce the thick canopy above. The air became heavy with an indescribable tension, and the whispers grew more insistent. Lily, don't be afraid, the wind coaxed, its voice now a soothing melody. There's something you must see, a tale waiting to be unraveled. Against her better judgment, Lily pressed on, drawn by an invisible force that seemed to guide her steps. She felt as if the very heart of the forest pulsed with a hidden energy, beckoning her towards a revelation she couldn't yet fathom. The path twisted and turned, leading Lily deeper into the labyrinth of trees. Soon, the moonlight became a mere glimmer, and the darkness thickened. Her surroundings morphed into a surreal dreamscape, where the boundaries between reality and illusion blurred. Suddenly, the trees parted, revealing a small clearing bathed in an ethereal glow. In the center stood a weathered, ancient tree, its bark marked with symbols that seemed to pulse with a mysterious energy. Lily carried with her the echoes of the past, a participant in the ongoing saga of the haunted woods. From that night forward, the Whispering Woods held a place in Lily's heart, a place where stories whispered in the wind and the mysteries of time were revealed to those who dared to listen. The second story is about the haunting subway. In the heart of a bustling American city, there lay a subway station that many dared not speak of. It was said that after midnight, the station transformed into a realm of the supernatural, where the echoes of the living and the dead merged in a chilling symphony. It was a cold, moonless night when Sarah decided to take the last train home from her late shift. The city was asleep, and the streets were deserted as she made her way to the 51st Street station. The flickering lights of the subway entrance were a beacon in the darkness, promising safe passage beneath the city's slumbering giants. As she descended the steps into the station, a sense of unease crept over her. The usual bustle of the subway was absent, replaced by an oppressive silence that weighed heavily on her ears. The ticket booth was empty, the turnstile unmanned, yet it moved freely at her touch, as if expecting her. The platform was deserted, save for a single figure standing at the far end, shrouded in shadows. Sarah tried to shake off the feeling of dread that settled in her stomach as she waited for the train. The digital clock above the platform seemed to slow, each minute stretching into an eternity. Then, without warning, a gust of wind surged through the tunnel, bringing with it the distant sound of a train approaching. But there was something wrong. The sound was not the familiar rumble of the subway cars she knew, but a hollow wail that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. The train that pulled into the station was unlike any she had seen before. Its cars were ancient, the metal rusted and the windows dark. As it came to a stop, the doors opened with a creak, revealing an empty interior, save for a faint, flickering light that danced along the walls. Compelled by an unseen force, Sarah stepped aboard. The doors shut behind her with a finality that made her heart race. The train lurched forward, plunging into the darkness of the tunnel. The lights flickered more violently now, casting grotesque shadows that twisted and turned along the walls. As the train picked up speed, Sarah realized she was not alone. Figures began to materialize in the seats around her, translucent shapes that bore the semblance of humans, their faces twisted in silent screams. They paid her no mind, lost in their own eternal journey. The train showed no sign of stopping, each station passing by in a blur of light and shadow. Sarah's breath came in ragged gasps as panic set in. She was trapped in a ghost train, a vessel for the lost souls that wandered the tracks of the haunted subway. Just when she thought she could bear no more, the train began to slow. It came to a stop at a station that was not on any map, a place that existed between the worlds of the living and the dead. The doors opened, and Sarah felt a gentle push from behind. She stepped out onto the platform, and as she did, the figures on the train faded away, their wails diminishing into the distance. The train moved on, leaving Sarah alone in the station that wasn't there. As the first light of dawn crept into the sky, the haunting subway station began to fade, and Sarah found herself back on the familiar platform of 51st Street. The morning commuters flowed around her, oblivious to the night's terrors. But Sarah knew. She had walked alone in the haunting subway at night, a place where the veil between worlds was thin, and the echoes of the past lingered. And she knew she would never be the same again. I hope you enjoyed this eerie tale of the haunting subway. If you're looking for more horror stories or ideas, feel free to ask. The third story is about the ghostly bridge. In the heart of rural America, where time seems to slow down and whispers of the past echo through the dense forests, there stands a bridge. Not just any bridge, but one that defies the ordinary, a relic from another era, cloaked in mystery and dread. Locals call it the Ghostly Bridge, and its time-worn wooden planks tell tales of love, loss, and restless spirits. The bridge spans a narrow creek, its arches casting elongated shadows on moonlit nights. Once, it was a lifeline for the community, connecting two sleepy towns. But now, it stands forgotten, its purpose lost to the ages. The only way in and out is a long, skinny, man-made land bridge, barely wide enough for a single car to pass. They say that on moonless nights, when the wind howls through the gnarled branches, the bridge comes alive. Those who dare to walk its length alone at night encounter more than just the creaking of old wood and the rustling of leaves. They feel eyes upon them, unseen hands brushing against their skin, and whispers carried by the breeze. The legend speaks of a tragic love affair that unfolded here centuries ago. A young couple, forbidden to be together, would meet secretly on the bridge. Their love was passionate, fueled by stolen glances and clandestine kisses. But fate had other plans. One stormy night, as they pledged eternal devotion, tragedy struck. Lightning split the sky, and the bridge trembled under the weight of their love. The couple was torn apart, literally. Their souls forever bound to the very planks they stood upon. Those who walk alone at night across the ghostly bridge report eerie encounters. A spectral figure, dressed in 19th-century attire, appears at the midpoint. Her eyes, hollow and sorrowful, lock onto the trespasser. She beckons, her ethereal hand outstretched. Some say she's searching for her lost love, forever separated by the cruel hand of destiny. Others speak of phantom footsteps, echoing behind them. The bridge seems to stretch infinitely, and panic sets in as they hurry toward the other side. The air grows colder, and the creek below churns with unseen currents. Shadows dance along the railings, and the wind carries whispered confessions of love and betrayal. One moonless night, a weary traveler found himself on the ghostly bridge. His car had broken down, and the nearest town lay miles away. He stepped onto the narrow path, the wood groaning under his weight. The air thickened, and he felt eyes upon him. The spectral woman appeared, her face etched in sorrow. She reached out, her touch icy. "Help me find him," she pleaded, her voice echoing through time. He nodded, drawn into her tragic tale. Together, they walked the length of the bridge, the creek murmuring below. At the midpoint, she vanished, leaving him trembling in the darkness. He never found her lost love, but he carried her story with him, a burden and a blessing. And so, the ghostly bridge endures, a silent witness to love, loss, and the restless souls who linger. If you ever find yourself walking alone at night in the heart of America, listen closely. You might hear the faintest whisper, a love unfulfilled, a tragedy immortalized, and the bridge that binds them both. These are just one of the many horror stories. There are many more out there, waiting to be discovered and told. Do you have any horror stories of your own? Share them in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more spooky content. Until next time, stay safe and stay curious. Bye.